I find it quite interesting that you said that people are not emotionally attached at work. But do you find that that's at work when people are in employment? But also, like, is it at different levels? So when you are in high level management or middle management or like a technician kind of like, like I don't know, I don't want to be sounding degrading to lower jobs in the hierarchy of a company, for example. But I would expect that people who run their own businesses, they are very, very emotionally connected
to
to
their
their
business,
business.
which is a completely different emotional connection. Emotional connection in a relationship is about vulnerability.
Mm.
Emotional connection to your business
Of
is all
course,
about
yeah.
making your business successful, giving it all the effort that you can to make it successful and to bring the money in. Whereas the emotional relationship tends to kind of almost fall by the wayside sometimes, especially if you are
Mm.
running your own business.
So if you go into relationships and the hidden cost of not maintaining good relationships, whether it's the personal, like your partner, your life partner, or whether it's in business or at work. But I know that you do couples counseling. So when couples come to you, what do you find? Do they fight about what they say, or do they fight about what's actually happening underneath the surface, underneath their conflict?
It's a bit of both because communication is really important, right? But if you're not communicating in a way that works for both of you, then there's
Mm.
going to be a disconnect. So having relationships at work is a lot easier because there's no emotional connection. But the relationship at home, you need to have good communication skills. You need to be able to communicate in a way that each other can understand. But that comes from understanding yourself, followed by understanding the impact of you on your relationship. And then you can understand your partner better and how you can work through things in a better way and be more connected.
I was going to ask a fairly deep question, like how successful are people to find their honesty? Because I imagine that that's going to have to come down to honesty with themselves first, in order to, first of all, acknowledge that they might not be communicating very well, and then to actually implement any techniques to communicate better.
Yeah, and that obviously is where I come in, and help them to find ways to communicate better. And we have everything on the spectrum of, not being able to talk very much at all, not really knowing what to say, to oversharing and talking too much. So you'll find an anxious attached person will talk way more than someone who's an avoidant who will talk
Yeah.
less. And the anxious person will go towards the avoidant and the avoidant will then pull away more. So it's about understanding how you can communicate better with each other so that you can have that, really intense communication that helps you to resolve things, but also to feel safe while you're doing it.
Do people relate to how these issues in their personal relationship then affect their work life and their business life?
Yeah, I mean, if your relationship isn't right, then it affects everything. It
Mm,
affects how you relate
absolutely.
to other people. It affects how you are at work. And sometimes you'll find, I mean, people will do one of five things if their relationship, one or more of those five things, if their relationship isn't right. They'll launch more into their work or their
Mm.
business. They'll spend more time with their kids, their family, or their friends and hobbies. And then, ultimately, if things are really not right and there's no resolution, in the arms of someone else.
But of course, this is a business podcast, and we've got business people listening. So I would really like to drill a little bit more into how the negative issues that people carry in their personal relationships affect their business.
Well, it's
Give,
about mental health, isn't it, really? If your mental health isn't good, then that's going to affect you at work as well. You're not going to be able to perform at your optimum levels. And that's going to obviously affect the business ultimately.
I mean, interesting. Managing relationships comes in the realm of emotional health, the emotional health pillar
Um,
of how we manage that. But everything always kind of goes around and links into other things. Because
Sure
I
does.
suppose if your relationships are not good at home or at work, then they will both affect each other one day.
Yeah, yeah. You'll bring your bad relationships at work home and expect
Yeah.
support and hope for support, which usually happens. If you're in disconnect, it won't. But then equally, it's a little bit more difficult to take your relationship issues into work. So it just affects your mental health. So you're just
Yeah,
not functioning at your best. You're not bringing the best, 100% best of you to your business.
absolutely. So essentially, you help couples understand themselves first, as you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier. That's even before they are trying to fix each other or their relationship, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what shifts when someone takes responsibility for their own emotional patterns instead of waiting for the partner to change?
They become happier in themselves. because at the end of the day, we need to be functioning 100% the best of ourselves and take that into our relationship. If we're not, what we're doing is we're looking at them to provide what's missing for us. And we can't always provide that for other people. Our happiness is our own responsibility.
Yes.
So if we can't be happy, how can we show our partner how to make us happy?